Hey everyone, another video. In this video, we're actually going to create our first table. We're going to create the system realm table using the table designer because it's a lot easier to see what's going on and to show how we're going to allow SQL to start to name our default constraints and our keys and our relationships because we're going to continue that pattern in everything that we do. So instead of trying to develop a pattern for naming, we're going to take what SQL provides. So yeah, great video, first table. We're making quite a bit of progress in the time that we've spent. So I hope you enjoy.
All right, so let's go ahead and just open up System Main, right click on tables, and we're going to create a new table. So the first column we're going to create is the primary key, and we're going to name it after the table. So pretty simple, sys because it's a system generated column, ref because it's a reference item, system realm, that's the name of our table, TBL system realm, and ID to represent it's an ID. Data type, primary key, we're going to mark it as primary key and go down to identity specification and enable it. Next thing we're going to do is open up the keys, and we are going to make sure that this is not a clustered key. And we're also going to change, we're going to change the file group to the reference cluster because the reference index, because we want all of our non-clustered indexes to be on one file. The next key column that we're going to create is the tenant ID. So sys group ID tenant. So the GRP here, once again, system generated column. GRP here represents the group domain, group ID, and then underscore tenant is the suffix. We're saying this is a group ID, but it's part of the tenant. Data type, UDT tenant ID. Because this is a realm table, it doesn't have a taxonomy. So we're going to make it a cluster ID prefixing with int and UDT cluster ID. The specific dataset number prefixing with int, UDT specific dataset number, and no nulls. I forgot, we want to make sure that we add defaults to everything. Because we're going to actually store these defaults as a part of a definition and make sure that all of our tables have it and are accurate. So that will, a null default on a column that doesn't allow nulls. It'll help us. So now we go into the descriptor part of the table. str name, UDT name, no nulls, default of null, str description, default of null, UDT description, allow nulls. Same with the abbreviation. We're just kind of going over the last video. Null on the abbreviation, allow nulls. Column header, UDT column header, allow nulls, and a null default. Let's see, key name, str key name, UDT key name, allow nulls, null default. I could probably just use that soundbite over and over and over again. Let's see. All right, so I think we can do sequences, int sequence, UDT sequence, allow nulls, null default. And string display order, UDT display order, allow nulls, null default. So now we just want to add our cleaning flags, the FLG for our flag prefix cleaning, UDT cleaning flag, no nulls with a default of 0. Next will be our cleanse2 key. We're going to name it after our primary key with a suffix of cleanse2, UDT primary key cleanse2 as the data type, allow nulls, null default, but we want to go in here to the relationships and set up the relationship right now where the foreign key is the column that we're working on. Now that the cleaning system is done, I think we can move into our system flags. So flag active, UDT active flag, don't allow nulls, and we're going to say everything that we enter has a default of 1 for this is active. Flag trusted. This is up to you. I'm going to say I don't trust anything by default, so you can decide with what you want to do. Flag archived. We can't insert any archive data, so that's going to be a 0, no nulls. Same with flag security. UDT security flag, no nulls, default of 0. You can't insert records into the system that have security. Records need to exist in the system before you have security. It's a very unique, it's not really a unique concept. It's how the system works. So same with planned, same with display. All their appropriate UDTs with zeros on the defaults. So other flag and 0 on the default. Now this is it for what our tables will consist of. 99% of our tables will look like this. The cluster ID will change and maybe we will add a parent key. So we're going to save this as TBL. TBL being our abbreviation for table, ref because this is reference data, and system realm because this is the realm table. Now from here, what I want to do is I want to drop and create this table to put the table on the cluster file group and make sure everything looks good. And the thing is with these defaults, how it's naming, SQL has this pattern built into it where how it's going to name these defaults, df underscore the table name underscore the column name. And we're going to adopt this pattern and use it when we create these, when we edit these in the future. So here you can see the table created and kind of get a feel for what's going to be happening here. You could see that we just opened up the table and you have all of the UDTs listed out and all our names listed out. So we kind of start to look at, this is just from the Object Explorer, we can tell what kind of data is being stored here and what we're looking for. I think that's it for our first table. In our next video, I'm going to start to show you how these tables relate to each other and the patterns within the tables themselves. And we will be creating the class, family, and type and untyped version, the base table of our system table. So thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again soon.